Welcome back to another Clear Mud live stream. Today is all about Google. It's all about Gemini 3 and their new IDE, Antigravity. Without further ado, let's dig into it. Now, before we get started here on what we're building, we're gonna build something unique. But if you haven't already checked it out, check out this blog post, a note from the CEO. Let me see if I can. How's everyone doing today? While I get this rolling here. Has anybody played with Gemini 3 yet? Has anybody built anything cool? Let's make sure the audio is working. I can. Wonderful, audio is working. And let me just pin this link in the chat. You know, we're not going to dig through this line for line, but according to these tests, apparently it scored the highest in humanity's last exam, which I believe the last breakthrough was, I believe all AI models were kind of stuck between that 10 to 20% range for the longest time. But notably, Gemini 3 Pro, it has scored so high, it's very similar to, I believe it was ChatGPT, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, back in 2023, where it set that bar, it set that benchmark for all LLMs to follow. It looks like Gemini 3 just set a new bar, just raised the bar tremendously. So we want to dig into it. We want to build stuff, but you know, I'm not going to just build anything today. You know, shout out to everybody making content about Gemini 3. I've been consuming a lot. But I've also been seeing just the generic build me a game, build me this, build me that everyone's building. And I thought, what do I need? What do I want to build that I would benefit from? And I came up with this idea. And if you're here on YouTube, you may or may not know, there are such things as faceless YouTube channels where people don't show their face, but they create infographics / animation style documentaries, educational summaries on, you know, what certain influencers are talking about, etc. I want to build an application that essentially generates those for me. I got this idea yesterday when I was filming a new video for Notebook LM. And I was filming a new video showing this particular use case of this really cool audio book, or audio overview rather, that you can then join as a guest and ask it questions based off of what it's generated, based off of all these source YouTube links. It's a pretty nifty use case. I find myself listening to these audiobooks. I've generated quite a few from different people that I follow. And you know, the combined number of hours of all these YouTube videos are like 20 something hours. Listen, as much as I respect what Hormozi's doing, I'm not gonna consume 20 hours of his content because a lot of it is repetitive. A lot of it, he's just repeating himself. But I was like, what if I get a one-to-one link with Alex Hormozi without actually knowing Alex Hormozi? So I came up with this idea, and I also generated a video overview. And I thought it was pretty slick. I was like, wow, you can
Have you ever felt like
you can take this as a base, right? And improve on it and create faceless videos.
Well,
but I'm sure there's some copyright
if you're creating
issues.
videos,
So,
for example?
you know, today we're building an app that expands on it. And here's the prompt that I prepared. We're gonna build a web application named Faceless Vid that transforms a selection of source YouTube video URLs into a 15 to 25 minute faceless educational explainer video with an auto-generated base preview and select enhancement capabilities. The core workflow: user inputs URLs, generate base preview. System automatically creates complete video wireframe, analyzes video with Gemini 3 Pro, generates 18 to 15 segments roughly. Should probably be more. We probably shouldn't limit that, but I'm gonna keep that in for now. Auto generates text on screen animations for all segments, Notebook LLM style. Creates narration audio for the entire video, which we will eventually replace, right? But I just want it as the base. User gets instant playable preview. User can export immediately or selectively enhance segments. Click the timeline segment to select 3D animation, a 2D keyframe, or VO3 generated B-roll, or regenerate text. Export final MP4 video. Now, just kind of like a pending screen that I wrote out, and then visual indicators for that, and then technical requirements. I know the animation libraries I want to utilize are anime.js for 2D keyframe animations, as well as 3.js for 3D rendering, and then VO 3.1 for generative video B-roll. And I misspelled suggestions. Make suggestions if we should use other models, use the most optimal and effective tech stack necessary to accomplish the workflow. All right, so we're just gonna get straight into building. I already pasted it in here, but you help me catch that typo down here. And this is Antigravity. Looks like most IDEs, right? Let me actually move my camera up here. Voila. And where we can see this agent mode. Although I should probably move this agent mode. It should be fine. And here's the prompt. So we're just gonna let it get to work. I haven't prompted this model today because yesterday I went on a frenzy. I was testing, I was trying to build things, and I reached my max quota so quickly. So from what I understand, it operates on a 5-hour block. It's currently free to use. So you can go into aistudio.google.com/apps. If you just go google.com, it should forward you there anyway. And you can start building. And you get unlimited, essentially, right, to build with this model. Now, I wanted to test their new IDE, so I downloaded Antigravity. I gotta say, it feels like Windsurf to me, which makes sense because they acquired Windsurf all but a few months ago. So it makes sense that there's some similarities, but I want to give it a go, and I'm incorporating it into my workflow. Currently, I use Visual Studio Code for clients, Cursor for personal and just company-related stuff, and then now I'm going to use Antigravity for testing and experimenting. So let's hit full send. Let's actually do planning mode first, and I want to do low, that way we don't max out too quick. Because I noticed yesterday running the high model, it just maxed out so quick to where I couldn't even build anymore. So, all right. So it's getting to work. It's getting to work. We live in exciting times. I feel like the space moves so quickly, but I'm here for it. I love it. And I wanted to start with the simplest of prompts for this app. And I will be honest, I built a version 1, if you will, of it yesterday. But I started with the simplest of prompts, and I had to prompt so many times to get it to a point where I liked it. So today before stream, I took the time to prep this bit more comprehensive prompt so that it could almost one-shot it. I doubt it'll one-shot it, but almost one-shot it. Okay, so we set an implementation plan, build a web application that transforms URLs to educational videos using advanced AI simulation. Requirements mention this VO3, maybe future or restricted models. Interesting. The application, I appreciate you, Andra. Thanks for tuning in. I try to break things down, but I also don't want to be the type of YouTuber that just chases new things. This is one new thing that I'm personally excited for, but you notice how I didn't make any content for, I believe it was Kimmy K2 or something. Everybody and their mamas made a video about that, so I wasn't about to jump on the train per se. I like focusing on Claude Code here, and then comparisons, and then anything that interests me personally. So, all right, let's just kind of continue down this proposed changes. Styling strategy, per system instructions, we will use vanilla CSS with modules and variables for styling to ensure maximum control and premium aesthetics, avoiding Tailwind CSS unless requested. Interesting. I didn't set that restriction, I don't think. We'll use Next.js. Okay, great. All right. Great, it's using those models. All right. Oh, I think that's good enough. So let's proceed. It's going to begin execution now. See how quickly this operates. Now I know there's like some type of new workflows section. Where did I see that? Or workspaces rather. Mode Explorer. Interesting. Don't see it offering. Oh, maybe we make this one a little unique. What's Monokai? What was that? Command KT? Yeah, Command KT. I'll just go dark plus. Let's accept. Can we set? Now let's switch it over to fast. And is there any way to auto accept? No, there's not off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll find it. Oh, and here's the tasks. Nice little to-do list it made for itself. Wonderful. We're just gonna let it run. It is working. So in the meantime, I guess I can show you what I built yesterday, this just rough outline, right? So this was essentially a faceless video architect. And you would paste in your YouTube links, you would select what type of, content you want created. It got close, but the first prompt, it was not anything like I wanted. So we'll see if this one does better. And in the meantime, let's actually prep all of these links. It's really annoying. I can't just export all the links. We're using Alex Hormozi as a demo today. Let's open up our notepad. All right. And we're going to copy link. The tedious part, right? I did find this cool plugin. If anybody's using this is free to use. And as you're watching YouTube, you can just add the YouTube file to a project or create a project from the extensions. Pretty nifty stuff. But that doesn't really help for what we're doing here. It's amazing how, look at these links, they all end in NQ. Interesting. 6. We'll go check back on Antigravity in a moment. Just grab this last link. You might be giving it too much, but this is going to be a great test. Oh, we do have to accept. All right, and it's starting to build out our code base here. Wonderful. Yeah, and apparently, if you prefer coding in the CLI, let me double check everything here. Pretty sure. Wonderful. Only Ultra subscribers. Interesting. Let's see for sure. All right, and let's just spin up Gemini in this new folder. All right, does a Google Auth there. Authentication successful. So it looks like, yeah, we don't have enable preview features in settings. Okay. Bam. Wonderful. Model. Do I have to close out the session, reopen it? Let's see. Whoops, model. Yep, look at that. So it looks like 3 Pro will be the primary unless you max out. It's on the same line as 2.5 Pro. So what we might also do is, just for fun, is build a Chrome extension in parallel. I want to prioritize, you know, the main demo for Faceless Gen. So let's wait before we do that. That way I don't accidentally burn. Is there a usage command? There is. Okay, we'll save that for a little bit later in today's live stream. I think it was Open Agent Manager. That's what it is. So you have all these separate workspaces for each new project you create. So you could seamlessly transition. Ooh, that's actually pretty nifty. Wow. Okay, cool. So for anybody curious, that link is up here on the top right-hand side next to my little video blurb right here. Boop. Oh, I actually did just get an idea for a web app. Maybe we'll turn it into an extension. Let me open up X. Go to saved. I think I put it under prompts. All right. So I think this will be our extension idea. And let me pull this up here. We'll just create a new page. So a knowledge base packed with what just happened to the... Interesting. Let me restructure this in my notepad. I'll just go back to Antigravity in the meantime. There we go. Much better. So, internet swipe file. So maybe we'll test this in the CLI using Gemini 3, but we'll build an internet swipe file extension, which is a knowledge base that's packed with landing pages that you like, visual styles you like, creatives, tweets, LinkedIn posts, TikToks, etc., YouTube thumbnails. It's essentially a massive library of proven content that you like that you can inject into AI workflows. It's the easiest way to improve outputs, just steal what's already working. You can't be good at everything, but this plus solid prompting will take you very far. I can remove that part since that was part of the tweet. How should we improve this? Internet swipe file. Build me a Chrome extension that allows me to add contents of a particular website, allow user to specify the extension grabs specified content, adds to local storage, that will be used as a knowledge base that user can export into a prompt. I'll have to expand on this a little bit more, but I kind of like where this is going. Very interesting. Let's go back to our app. All right, I have completed the development of Faceless Vid. You can now review, walk through the code base. All right. Actually, there's supposed to be a really cool preview here. Let's see. I think it's in the agent manager, actually. So since we started building this outside of that, let's just spin up our local server. And we have some errors out the gate. And we're just going to start vibing here. Yeah, one thing I, been aware of, but I want to start using more of is bun over NPM. Shout out to Theo for that find. All right. Okay, a whole bunch of errors out the gate, but that's okay. Didn't expect this to one-shot it. Would have loved it. All right, here's the one. Good old purple. I should have specified no purple. But I gotta say, at least the layout's super modern. Feels glassmorphic here, even though I didn't specify that. Paste your, and it's only giving me the option for one URL. That's a big miss. We gotta make sure that we fix that in our next version. So we're gonna generate base preview, doing our loading screen properly, which is wonderful. I mean, this looks really good. Definitely not perfect, but looks really good for a first shot. But then this looks like yeah, this looks like placeholder. This is not legitimate content here. All right, two things to fix. So step one is users should be allowed to enter more than one URL, in theory, unlimited URLs, before running this tool. And then secondly, it looks like you're generating placeholder data. What was generated is not related to the YouTube links that I provided. So make sure you're using YT-DLP to make sure you download the transcript of the YouTube videos from the source link list so that you can properly summarize it and create a video overview in Notebook LM style. All right, so two little fixes there. And this is what vibing's all about. I personally use Whisper Flow. So I just have my hotkey bound, and as long as my text field, I think they also have their own voice input. I'd be shocked if they don't. I just don't see it easily available. So using Whisper Flow in the meantime. Then I'm going to type this in manually, 0058B9. Let's make this a light themed web app with option for dark mode. All right. Cool. And it is working along. Close that there. This will be our next tool we build. Just minimize that for now. Well, that's not good. The model produced an empty response. Is this a usage bug? Let's see. Yeah, this is weird. I noticed this happened to me yesterday. It's just going in a loop now. That's a bummer. All right. Well, maybe anti-gravity is still a bit buggy. It's literally saying the same thing over and over. And it's timing out. So, that's a bummer. Let me copy these. And let's open up a new session here. And maybe it just needs a new session. And if not, what we can also do is spin up Gemini in the CLI and finish it this way. Let's see. Okay, I think it just needed a new agent terminal. So I don't think we'll need the terminal at this moment. But let's definitely connect. Had to hit enter, not number. I'm so used to hitting 1, 2, or 3 for Claude Code. Hitting 1 there did not work. But yeah, spinning up a new agent window is all we needed to do. So. Well, we can hide that for now. And maybe what I'll do there is set up preview on port 3004. So I'll just spin up the dev server down here and we'll keep this kind of hidden. Okay. Yeah, to be clear, there should never be any mock data. We want real data from YouTube source links. Perfect. Eliminated fallback. Wonderful. I mean, it's getting to work. Oh, wow. It missed the beat on that light theme. Oof. Oh, cool. 1 per line. I'm gonna let it finish its work here, and I'm gonna take a screenshot. And it's also not done yet, so See what happens as we get a little bit closer. And we're going to grab that latest screenshot. And I'm really testing it. I don't want to get that specific. I just want to give it the basic responses. Okay. Part of me also wants to, as a test after we're done here, getting a workable model, is to spin this same prompt into AI Studio, their web app. Much better. Super plain, but much better. All right. So I'm going to give it a big task here. Okay. Do I have to one per line? Okay. One per line. Okay. Let's just give it 3 for the sake of this test. And I just want to test 2 now at this point, just to see what's up with this bug. Interesting. Let's just go with 1. Okay. Interesting. Is it because it's so long? Let's just try going to this one here. Nope, same issue. And I'm going to make a slight change along with that runtime error. I want it to have a very similar functionality to this, right? You would paste in a URL. This one-shot this, believe it or not. I would paste in a URL, hit plus. Oh, that's not a URL, that's a runtime error. Let's go to my notepad here and actually show you guys how far I got yesterday. So you hit that. Say I want educational, generate video overview. Permission denied, interesting. Maybe I deleted that API last night. I don't think I would have done that. Okay. We're gonna accept all. there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wonderful. Exactly what I'm looking for. All right. Let's see if this will generate a base preview. Styling's out of whack, but you know, we can fine tune that later on. I want to focus on core functionality. No transcript available. And it looks like this is all out of whack here. Go back to 100%. Yeah, so it didn't one-shot it like I thought it might. Still a fun test, still a fun test. I want to at least get a working export. So let's keep chugging along, and then we're going to try building a Chrome extension using the Gemini CLI. And I want to build that idea that I had, the internet, I didn't have it, I found it on somebody's post, but an internet swipe file, right? An extension that just has a little icon that if you're visiting a particular website, and you like, for example, the YouTube thumbnail, you simply press plus. It says, what would you like to add to your knowledge base? And then when you're going to prompting to build new apps, you can just export that knowledge base into the prompt, and then also prompt whatever you're trying to build so that it has some context as to the styling that you like. See how we're doing here. All right. Let's add that second video just to be sure. I would imagine this should run longer. That's going way too quick. And I will just add Now I am really curious. I want to take this same prompt. And we're going to go here, build a new app. Same exact app, same exact prompt, and we're gonna see how it does. Man, it's bugging out again, that agent terminal. And just for the sake of testing, let's add generate. Still no transcript. All right. Maybe I should have prompted something simple and cool. But I wanted to build something for me. So rather than just building another game or another Minecraft recreation demo. There's an unexpected error. Finish what you were doing. Interesting. Interesting. All right, it's bugging out for me during the live stream. Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. And that didn't work. There we go. Now, maybe I should just start with the simplest of prompts. Nope, still same error, so something's going on. Maybe there's just an overload right now. All right. Not the best demo to run on the live stream, I suppose, eh? Because this agent mode is also bugging out as well. What to do? What to do? Let's pop open the terminal. See if we can't build something here. So we're in an anti-gravity test directory in the demos folder. So let's go grab this prompt here. You are a full stack engineer with a specialty in building Chrome extensions. I'd like you to build there we go. Internet swipe file. Oh, I didn't realize I had actually started to prompt build me a Chrome extension that allows me to add. Okay. Make it go beep boop. And let's see if this, let's at least paste the prompt in there to get it ready. And just keep trying until it works. Nice. Okay. That's just a slight hiccup. Wonderful. All right, I'm giving it the same exact prompt I gave here within Antigravity, and let's see how it does. And whoops, meant to hit new. And I wonder if we should use the agent manager. So we'll go into Faceless Gen app. I really love this. This is actually wonderful. Troubleshoot. Why video output not working. And we're going to give it this image of the screenshot of the issue. And let's see how it does in AI Studio. Seems like you don't have access to Gemini 3. Interesting. I had a feeling it's Gemini 3, Google AI Pro or AI Ultra accounts only have CLI access. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. So I'm not going to switch to 2.5 Pro because today's live stream is all about 3s. So we're just going to X out. And sadly, we can't do that in today's demo. But it is building away here, which is wonderful. I'm excited to see what it does. So we'll just work inside of here. Interesting. I can't tell if that's the YouTube video that's making that noise. Let's... Okay. All right. I mean, layout's a bit different, but let's go ahead and test. Spun that up real quick. I love that it's taking longer to do this. That means it's actually processing a YouTube transcript. Our app did not do that. That was built within the agent mode of Antigravity, so. Interesting. But I love this. This is a good sign because that's a very long video that it gave it. Yeah, so that initial build took just about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's amazing. All right, it looks like it does have some placeholder here. Let's just see if anything works. This will probably need, yeah, it'll probably need an API key, 3D animation. Oh, that's kind of cool. 2D, interesting. Okay. We're gonna reload app. Now I noticed that there is some placeholder content when I paste in a YouTube URL. So let's make sure that this is real data, not fallback to mock data. Let's remove any mock data and simply say try again if the generation doesn't work properly. Let's also add the capabilities to add more than one YouTube URL. So maybe adding a little plus symbol next to it to add it to the list below and then generate preview. Let's make sure that, you know, for the output, actually, we'll stop there. And let's just stop that speech to text. Come on. It's taking a little bit of time there, huh? I think I'm just gonna use Whisper Flow instead. All right, let's make sure, so 2 changes here. First off, the first test, it generated mock data. So that just took a while to, it took a while to input there, but it did work. So I think we're going to scratch that that other version. I want to see. I have a feeling we're going to have much more success inside of their AI Studio web app that's available on aistudio.google.com. And then, you know what? Just because I had the idea, I want to build out a game. Build me a game similar to, think of it like Super Mario meets Sonic. But instead of a hedgehog, we're going to do a monkey. And instead of coins, we're going to do bananas. And we're not going to give it any other information, right? I just want to see on the base what it'll do. So while we wait for that to build, let's go back to our faceless vid app to see how it's doing. Love it. All right, still has placeholder data, sadly. No audio. All right, so it looks like it still has some demo fallback data. The YouTube links I provided are not about this topic. Can we please start over in the sense of making sure the logic is correct and that you are properly pulling the YouTube transcripts from the links provided on the first step. Also, audio is not working on the output as well. All right, now let's go over to our game that we created. And they called it Super Monkey Dash. Collect bananas, dodge baddies, reach the goal. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. This is really cool. Interesting. Okay. Let me get my WASD instead of the number pad. Boop. Oh my God. I am horrible. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, he's moving so quick. It's insane. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can see this great for like brands to make their own video games to post across their socials. I mean, it nailed the sense of what I was going for, but this... Can you do double jump? Nope. We'll have to set that up. Okay, fun. Wow. I mean, it was working just fine too. So let's go down. Let's go back to our faceless video app creator. And I'm just kind of curious to see, okay, motion graphics, 3D animation. It seems like it's defaulting to the sphere. We didn't set up an API, so I don't think it's going to do a VO3 B-roll, but let's see. Yeah, I feel like I got closer with yesterday's version. Let's see. So I'm going to generate based off of one link. Yeah, I did do a light dark mode yesterday. Taking a bit to generate. Let's see. It's saying failed to call the Gemini API. Let me make sure. Oh yeah. So here's was
Ever wished you could quickly grasp a YouTube video's content without watching the whole thing? Transcribing is your answer. Transcripts make videos accessible to everyone, including the hard of hearing. Plus, they're perfect for note-taking.
Yeah, so this is kind of where I got yesterday with it was working, but I believe they don't include API usage like they did in its last update. So you have to input your own API key, which is a bummer. So I did set a budget and it maxed out the budget. I just checked my Google Cloud account and, this here shouldn't load them publicly, but it allows me to select cloud project. And I had it working where it was generating VO3 content yesterday. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I had it working. But I think just through testing, let's see what the budget I set. I think I set a couple bucks. Yeah. Right now the bill from yesterday is $3.91. Not much, right? But it was all just testing and playing with it. So I would rather not have to pay that to test and play with it. See. Okay, let's go back. Oh, this is so interesting. Wow. Yeah. Bummer. I think the solution here is to and let me just go off screen real quick. Let me try giving it a free tier API to see if it'll do anything. Let me place that in Gemini service. And I'll bring this back on screen in a moment. Just give me a second. So it's thinking. Okay. Let's try one more time. I gave it a free tier API. And it's failed to call Gemini API. Bummer. All right. Interesting. Generate base preview. Failed to call the Gemini API. I want to view by API keys.
Welcome to a deep dive into the psychology of high performance. Today, we are deconstructing the core concepts from Alex Hormozi's 41 Harsh
All right, it's working. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Truths.
Now, this
This
layout is all
isn't
out of
just a
whack.
list of motivational quotes. It is a systematic restructuring of how we view reality, pain, and action. The premise is simple yet profound. Most of us are held back not by a lack of ability, but
I want to see what happens when we hit export.
our biological instinct is to recoil from.
All right. So it looks like you're pasting a preview of the transcript or the narration script on the actual canvas. let's remove that, right? We just want it to be the visuals. All right, so we know it's working now, which is wonderful. Great, love it, love to see it. And I think by default, we should have a white background or an option to select background color or background styling. Get creative with the options. Okay, we're gonna go through this new update. Just waiting for it to process. So a lot of fine tuning. It didn't one-shot it, but you know, this idea is super unique. So it makes sense that it didn't one-shot it. And just to confirm for anybody watching this recording or listen to me saying how much I spent in API usage yesterday, that was actually a bug with another tool that I'm testing and working on. It's almost live for production. So it actually didn't cost me anything yesterday. Yeah, because Gemini 3 Pro preview, I mean, it's a preview. You should have full unlimited access until the preview's over. All right, we are ready for another test. So I'm just gonna paste this in there and let's give it 2 videos. We're feeling spicy. And clearing out those APIs, disabling billing on some old keys. Oh, did it just reload as I was Makes sense. You know what I realize? Got to hit enter. There we go. We can just hit enter. And then hit enter and generate base preview. I too am feeling spicy. How spicy you feeling? Replace pinned comment. All right. We're getting close. We're getting close. It's not going to be as close as I would have liked for this live stream. We went through a minor issue where everything was just bugging out. We did make a fun game, and we've just been kind of going back and forth between this faceless video generator app idea that I had. But next week, bearing any new releases, I want to try to reserve live streams for just deep dives into new releases when applicable, when it makes sense. But I think we'll get back to working on linked intelligence next week. Continue to fine tune. I already built a version 2 out. Want to continue building out the landing page for it. Kind of get that in place and launch the freemium version of it where you don't need an API key to use it. Right? You don't need to generate your own API key to use it. Rather, you just pay us and you get, X amount of generations per month, which it should be pretty much unlimited as long as we default to the 04 mini model. Because it's like, I don't know, 1/200th of a cent to prompt, something like this. So it's insanely affordable using that model. Wait, it looks like it is bugging out. So let's reload the app. And let's just start with one video. Maybe it's bugging out because of 2 videos. What's interesting is it's not giving me any reports here. So let's let it do its thing and kind of go from there. I'm also prompting my other tool right now because there's a lot of dead time to wait here. All right, looking much better.
Welcome. In this session, we are dismantling some comfortable lies we tell ourselves about work, success, and happiness. We start with a fundamental truth often discussed by Alex Hormozi. Pain is not a glitch in the system, it is a feature of reality. We spend so much energy trying to sedate, avoid, or outrun discomfort, but pain is simply a signal of life. It is the friction of existence. If you are feeling resistance, you are alive. Now, if pain isn't the enemy, what? Let's look at a specific inefficiency that welcome. Let's look at a welcome. Let's look at a specific inefficiency. If we want to quantify personal power, we can look at it as we talk a lot about physical fitness, but we rarely discuss the mechanics of mental fitness.
Interesting. I like where this is going, to be honest here. We do have to vibe with it a little bit more, though. We do have to improve on it a little bit more. Let's see. All right, I think we should also incorporate an actual timeline with a, I don't know what it's called, but like a little toggle that's showing exactly where you are on the timeline from start to finish for the entire project. And then based on that timeline, when you pick a visual style, I think the visual style should only affect 5 to 8 seconds of the timeline. I really want this customizable in a sense where the user can change the visuals before they export every 5 to 8 seconds. Also, when we incorporate VO3, there is a limit 5 to 8 seconds. So this is why I want to make this universal for also 3D animation and 2D keyframes. And also look into 2D keyframe. To me, it just looks like it's just text on screen. The text is not animated in any way. All right, we're vibing here. Hey, I like where this is going because now, I mean, ideally you'd want the text to stay on top and then you can add your own video underneath, right? And that's what would happen, right? That's as we do 3D animation. This probably won't call because it needs the API. And I can always ask it, do we need Gemini API for testing? I thought Gemini 3 Pro was free for preview. It's probably going to say yes, the context window and agentic kind of coding side of it, yes, but I'm just trying to get away with just free. Let's see. But we're getting there. We're getting very close. So now I want to add a little timeline toggle that you can move. And then we're only going to affect 5 to 8 seconds of the timeline with our animation. Right? And then this is where you go into your video editor and then you place in whatever else and redo the, I highly recommend if you were to build a tool like this, don't use an AI generated voice. Use your voice or use an 11 Labs generated voice. But I'm loving the simplicity. It's clearly picking apart the YouTube script that we're pasting in. Yes, use the standard Gemini key while the model itself might be a free preview or have a paid tier. Access is gated through the API client, which requires the key to authenticate and enforce quotas. You do not need a separate paid subscription if your API key has access to the preview models. Okay. And in a new tab, because I don't want to expose that, let's go and check that out. AI Studio. Get API key, projects. So free tier, free tier, free tier. I'm just going to grab my base key here. Okay, VO 3.1 is not included in this free access. What about VO 2? Or VO 3, not 3.1. What about VO 2? Nope. Guess we're about to find out. I'm gonna incorporate this key, this paid key into, where is it? Group by API project, all projects. Call this test. Okay. And let me actually pop this off screen so I can update the API. Where is that? Give me one moment, we're almost there. I just don't want to expose this key and have the 2 viewers that are watching try to steal it, but you know, in all honesty, I just don't want to expose the key. It's good practice to never expose your API key. But also, thank you to you too. Okay, cool. It's actually building out like a platform dialogue that that allows me to select my account, etc. So I don't have to actually paste in any API here. I just want to test the VO3 output to show you guys. I think what I would do in phase 2, I'm going to continue to work on this. And if I get to a good point where it's exporting, you know, a good enough video for me, I'll release this to the public. It would obviously have to be a paid tool, but I haven't found a long form video creator like this. There is one, what was it called? That they're just teasing its launch. It's not available yet to the public. It was vid something. I think I found it. Yeah, join waitlist. So, I mean, I'm excited for this tool if they ever, you know, whenever they launch, but it'll essentially create, you know, a long form video based off of what you want to do. Nice. This is actually a great example. I really love this. Let's actually grab interesting. Give me a beta spot. I really want to test this tool. Bam. Select, hit clear mud, hit done. Interesting. So this is kind of where I got to here, but I don't have a referral code. VidRush 25 just for the year. Let's see if it works. Nope. Worth a shot, worth a shot. And you know, I don't know how publicly available this is, but let's go ahead and open up Comet. You can also use ChatGPT Atlas for something like this, but it's a fun use case to paste in your website, go to that website, find a redeem code for beta testing. Yeah, it's just letting you know there's nothing really available. Let's try going here. I really love, I mean, this I didn't think, I thought this was a video, but great interface. You know what we could also do? Oh, I was thinking about ending the live stream soon, but you know what? Please build a clone of this website and its tool. vidrush.ai and let's see how well it does. I'm just going to take screenshots of kind of the entire site. All right. Hey, Garrett. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. Right on. I feel like I've seen a video about this. That's a fun tool to build. I've been kind of beating my head against the wall. First, I was trying Antigravity earlier in this episode, in the live stream. But I was running into some weird errors in this agent mode. So then I switched to AI Studio, and I'm making more progress on AI Studio. Antigravity is a fun-looking IDE, but it reminds me a lot of Windsurf. Yeah, fuck yeah, I can't wait to see what else you build. And then I got this idea to do this faceless YouTube generator app. And we're making progress for sure. I also built this earlier in the stream, this Super Monkey Dash. Ah, okay, so I'm not alone. I thought it was just maybe user error, but I think, they launched a lot in one day. So yeah, AI Studio is the way to go, IMO right now. And I built this earlier just because I was tired of running into errors on the other app. But it's like Super Mario meets Sonic, but with monkeys and bananas. So it's works. I'm not very good at it, but it works. All right. Without Squirrel Dude, let's go back. I want to see if it will clone. Please clone me this web app. I don't yet have access to it, but here's a screenshot of the website for you to get an idea of is that hidden? Of the function of the web app. The goal is to produce long form YouTube content with a simple prompt and source YouTube URL. See screenshots. And then I should be able to just paste all of these screenshots I just took of that website. Let's see. Make sure this is the correct batch. 610 to 60. Yeah. All right. Nice. You can just drag all screenshots in there. Yeah, so that's actually a good idea. Thank you, Garrett. Let me see. I think I discovered the tool off of somebody I follow on Twitter who's like a faceless YouTube guy. But that's a good idea. VidRush. VidRush AI. I think this is it. Yeah, but they don't have any videos yet. They just have, it reserved along with its domain. So interesting. Almost there. But I think based off of that website, let's see what happens here. We're giving it the simplest of prompts. Oh, can it? See, this is news to me. That is awesome. I didn't know this. Oh, let's stop that. I didn't want to do that. That's my one gripe with Claude Code, because I've been primarily working out of Claude Code for the past few months. It's like, it doesn't yet support video. That is awesome. All right, cool. I love it. That's a big step. There's been countless scenarios where I just wanted to do a screen recording to show, a workflow process or a process of something in an app that I'm building that, instead of having to explain it voice to text or, typing it out, having a video would be ideal. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to have to test that out. Let me actually... Oh, I'm using OBS right now, so I can't do a new screen recording, but let me just go into my library of screen records and see if I can't pull something in there right now.
The couple times that I've been...
Oh, I must have been listening to a podcast while I was screen recording that. Wonderful. All right. After a quick little intermission here, now let's continue. I'll test that off air. Thank you for that, Garrett. I'm going to test that, and I'll eventually make some long form, videos for Gemini 3, but my queue is currently, I think I'm 3 weeks of videos done, scheduled and ready to post. So I will, what? Look at this. Look at this. I'm impressed. Okay. I mean, I didn't want to plagiarize the name, but we just wanted to use it as inspiration. Let's give this video a title. We'll call it the Hormozy Blueprint. And I'm gonna grab notebook lm.google, go to this project I created, grab this summary. Attach. Okay, so almost there. I mean, I'm sure nothing's gonna happen at this moment. I mean, what is it doing right now? What is happening? I don't know. We're about to find out. Yo, I love this layout here. I mean, this is clearly mock data. There's no way this is legitimate. But this is impressive. Now I want to incorporate all the work I've been doing in this one into this model. I really love how this looks much better. Wow. Wow. Just uploaded a catalog of Legos, so now I can either generate an image from saying something like build a house or something. Oh, what? Nice. So you can upload an image of a house that you want to build with like certain architecture, and it'll copy it, and then it'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to build. Oh, that's awesome. Just an all AI music video last week, and there are tons of sites out there, but none of them are all that great. Yeah, the one that I found that is my favorite so far, where is it? I'm sure you've heard of this, but it's Suno. I haven't paid for anything yet, but I do a photography vlog, and I was generating stuff just out of curiosity. I said, give me a sound hook for short form photography vlogs. And it came up with some pretty, which one was my favorite? I think it was this one.
Yeah, click, snap, light trapped in a frame. Focus, lock, chasing moments by name. Freeze the world, let the colors collide.
And then like every beat, every like, it doesn't drop, right? But every like, what's the term I'm looking for? It felt like a bass, like a loud drum. I would alternate the scene.
I shut the sins, got the world on my side.
But yeah, Suno, I mean, just based off of my brief experience with it, I'm loving it so far, but it's in my test AI tab to where I have to keep playing with it before I really like stand behind it and promote it or anything like that. Yeah, okay, so you've heard of the Suno. Ah, okay. So it's just more like the video sound effects more than anything. Is that what I'm understanding? Oh, I'm totally misunderstood what you said. So an all AI music video. Got it. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of Higgsfield, right? Maybe making certain B-roll from Higgsfield, right? Depending on the segment. I mean, that might be an idea for AI Studio to build you out, you know, a music video creator, and then utilizing, you know, a Higgsfield API as well as a VO 3.1. Oh, nice, nice. All right, so Suno is the way to go, it sounds like, for music. I mean, that's an idea in itself right there. There's YouTube videos that they're killing it, and some of them are for sure AI generated content. Just make your own long form AI generated lo-fi brain music, make a YouTube channel out of it, see where it goes. I mean, WAN, yes, I've heard of WAN. Okay. Yeah, so just building the story that will match the song. I could imagine that'd be a little difficult. AI is not quite there yet. Unless you build that logic into it to where it reads line for line and tries to interpret as best it can. All right. Man, I'm really happy with this clone. Shit. I think I'm going to take inspiration from that clone since we've already made progress here. Let me go grab another link. I wonder, can I just do this without a Google API? I need a Google API. All right, fine. Hit OK. Hit plus, generate. Okay. Oh, yeah. You saw my homepage. Yeah, we probably do. You know, the space isn't that big when it comes to vibe coders and creators, I feel like. I feel like there's like a circle of them, and they're pretty consistent. Now, sure, you definitely find some new people, but that's awesome. Oh, nice, nice. That's dope, man. He wanted to collaborate on the music side. Yeah. Like, this is the best part of it. Man, I'm really loving this. All right. But it's almost dinner time here. Shoot. Okay. I just want to get through one more test because I haven't tested this one since we made that last change. But I'm going to draw inspiration from this and transform this homepage, I think, into this. And then also it's video editor preview. That was dope. That was amazing. All right, so this is just gonna take some time. We'll come back to it. I wanna vibe with this one. Let's make it visible. So for attach, I think the user should be able to attach any images that they want to incorporate in the video. Pretty much any visual, I'm having a brain fart right now. Jeez. Let's add some functionality to this prompt window. So for attach, let's make it any video or image-based assets. And then there should also be a YouTube URL option where the user can input multiple URLs. All right. Oh, I hit my limit. Sheesh. Whisper Flow, I got to upgrade. All right. Or just switch accounts. There we go.
Welcome. Today, we are deconstructing.
All right, I mean, that text is super basic, but let's generate a VO3 here. So it does break them down into 5 to 8 second clips. It gave us our kind of video.
The often uncomfortable yet profound philosophies of Alex Hormozi.
Okay.
If you are looking for sugar-coated advice or hacks to get rich quick without internal change, this video is not for you. We are exploring a blueprint for unconventional success and resilience that challenges the very foundation.
This requires a lot of work. This is way too, I want to be able to move that as well. So we'll have to. Oh, is there? Right on. I'm going to check that out during dinner. I'm about to end this stream here in a few minutes. I try to cap these live streams at 2 hours, you know? 2 hours is a nice length. Let's see what happens.
Foundation of how we view happiness, work, and the opinions of others. This is not just about business strategy. It is about the psychological framework.
All right, looks like it's not, unless it just needs time to refresh here. I know with that other model I built yesterday, it actually did plop in visuals
Required to endure
from VO3, but this is
the pain.
Clearly a bit buggy, but I mean, can definitely build on it. So yeah, it's at least a start. So hey, I appreciate you for tuning in, Garrett, and also scrolling up. Andra, thank you. Appreciate all the comments. Keep them coming. Keep building. So every Wednesday is the aim, although right now my schedule is a little kind of all over the place. So it's either every Wednesday or every Friday I'll live stream. And yeah, so we'll be back at it next week. But can't wait to see what you build. Make sure you drop a comment with anything you release publicly, man. I'd love to see it. And I'm looking forward to seeing that how you progress with making AI generated music videos. I feel like that could be an app in itself, you know, niche down and then broaden it down the road. But yeah, so without squirrel ado, once again, we live in amazing times. Get out there and build something. And until next time, peace. Oh, of course, I forgot to end the broadcast. Yep. All right, I'm going to catch that fireside chat from Google. Thanks for the tip, Garrett.